It's been years since the last game in the series, and finally Kingdom Hearts 3 is out. But should you go back and start with Kingdom Hearts 1? Is that 2002 game still fun today? In terms of presentation, the game makes a splash. Each world is wonderful to look at, and the character models don't have that stiff, blocky nature of early PS2 games. I especially love it when the party's costume changes to fit the theme of the world. It's a shame it doesn't happen more often.
No one appreciates clothes here, Barbie. No one.
Playing for a while though, I learned that Splash is just one in a kiddie pool. There was too many shortcuts to count. All the rooms in an area generally look the same, and a lot of them are just boxes with textured walls. Jak and Daxter came out a year before this, there's no excuse for that. Collectibles are just boring 2D textures, and I looked forward to finding Dalmatians only to find they're just text and treasure chests. This wasn't a product of the time, this was apathy. The voice acting is absolutely bipolar. Some of the great Disney actors are there. I always love James Woods' Hades.
I mean, a casualty or two along the way. It's no big deal, right?
Just don't look at his Twitter. But some readings are painful.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Haley Joel Osment just doesn't seem to understand a recording booth. He's a good actor, but has some weird line deliveries.
Because it's way too dangerous.
Does Sora have a mom? Wiki says she's never heard him again. Guess that means he is a real Disney protagonist. The combat is clunky, but actually quite entertaining. The camera tries harder than hardcore head raid to make you vomit, and enemies attack from all angles at once. It's disorienting. That being said, the basic flow and mix between magic and sword key play really does work. The RPG elements add just the right amount of customability, and instead of complex, overly confusing systems, they smartly keep it simple and clean. Just don't start the game on hard. I like a challenge, but didn't expect a Disney license to kick my ass like this did. And the game doesn't let you change difficulties once you start. 10 hours in, I had to just call it and restart to protect my sanity. So far, everything's great, but unfortunately, this charming adventure becomes absolutely destroyed from some of the worst game design I've ever seen. Kingdom Hearts seems designed on purpose to get you lost. It just wants to pad out runtime to prevent blockbuster rentals. Ask your parents. The core gameplay can be best described as a game of hide-and-go-seek with adventurers, with nothing to do in the meantime except maybe grind combat here or there. Have you ever lost something and looked in the same place twice? Well, Kingdom Hearts is exactly like that. Except the thing you're looking for might actually be there if you open it up 2 times, walk in and out of the room, circle the garage, pet the cat, and open it up a 3rd time. Want to know how to meet Goofy and Donald for the first time? Enter Sid's shop. Leave it. Go to Zone 2. Go back to Zone 1. Enter Sid's shop again. Leave Sid's shop again. Not only this, but the game hints you're making progress when you go in other areas outside of Sid's shop. It's very confusing. I searched Tarzan's treetop for 45 minutes looking for the exit before I was finally forced to look at a guide. Turns out you gotta just jump off. Why would I think to do that in a game that involves platforming?
Suicide is badass!
And there's never any distinction between the objects that are decoration and the ones you can interact with. I just have to run into every door, smash triangle at every object, because they all look the same. And then there's the gummy ship. At least nobody defends this monstrosity. That feature was less developed than the Fire Festival. I mean, Star Fox SNES came out 10 years before this and looked better. I thought it was hiding loading screens, but the godsend of a warp option halfway through proved that theory wrong. You know, I hear a lot of people complain about Destiny Island's slow gameplay. The thing is, the rest of the game really isn't better. In fact, it's a lot of times worse. The thing is, the rest of the game hides the gameplay with a charming, wonderful world. Luckily, the game is charming. Sora and company interrupting and changing the events of Disney movies is always enjoyable to watch. And the Disney characters all have their strong personalities, fun interactions, and are a lot of times voiced by the original actors and actresses. Although I do wish Donald and Goofy would get to interact with them more, they seem to just exist for exposition in those worlds. On the other end of the spectrum, the Final Fantasy characters are nothing but props. They exist in the Ready Player One school of a nostalgia checklist. It's such a shame. I'd love to see Final Fantasy VI's Terra or Final Fantasy IX's Vivi doing some magic with Merlin and the Fairy Godmother, but no, we just get bland cameos. I really wanted to like this game. The premise is wonderful, the combat is flawed but enjoyable, the RPG elements perfectly complement it. but the game design absolutely ruins everything and make this game a chore to play. There is enough promise though for me to try the rest of the series, and you better believe I bought tickets to that Kingdom Hearts Orchestra. I really want to thank anybody who watched this, and especially want to thank the people who didn't tell me to kill myself in the comments. I don't really plan on making more videos. This was just a fun project since I like to watch a lot of these videos. But if people do like it, yeah, and subscribe and all that, I will make more. Just let me know.